All right, breaking news update number 2 here, you guys. There are a few new documents on the Bryan Kohberger docket submissions. So I'm going to read through these and then we'll talk through them a little bit. But first one here, and we talked about this a little bit on the True Crime Talk show, but you guys who watch our pre-recorded content need to hear about it too. So, State of Idaho versus Bryan C. Kohberger, motion for change of venue. Motion for change of venue. Comes now Bryan C. Kohberger by and through his attorneys and hereby moves this court for a change of venue. By this motion, Bryan requests a jury pool from outside Latah County. This motion is made pursuant to the 5th, 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Article 1, 1, 6, 7, 13, and 18 of the Idaho State Constitution, ICR Rules 21 and IC 19-1801. A fair and impartial jury cannot be found in Latah County owing to the extensive inflammatory pretrial publicity, allegations made about Mr. Kohberger to the public by media that will be inadmissible at his trial, the size of the community, the salacious nature of the alleged crimes, and the severity of the charges Mr. Kohberger faces. Enlarging the jury pool will not do anything to overcome that pervasive prejudicial publicity because Latah County does not have a large enough population center to avoid the bias in the community. Further, the size of the community and the interconnectedness of its citizenry is problematic and will prevent a fair and impartial pool of potential jurors. Mr. Kohberger, by and through his counsel, requests an opportunity to be heard through evidentiary presentation and argument no sooner than the end of April 2024, dated the 30th day of January of 2024. And yes, it is signed by Ann Taylor. So we've already talked about this once, and we're going to dig back into it again. Me personally, you guys, I think the most important thing that I think has to do with changing the venue isn't even included in here. It's no secret that this entire community is ran by that school. Scott Green as the president, we know he has a ton of power. We know during the investigation he was meeting every single day with the police, which already is super strange. Like really weird.
It is really weird
when police and local government, school, whatever you want to classify that as, are combined in such a way where a college president can make important decisions on how they're going to proceed forward. Like it's problematic. But anyways, we know how much power the school has, okay? That school has over 50% of the permanent residents employed in that area, okay? What do you think would happen if Bryan Kohberger was found not guilty? How likely do you think adults are going to send their kids to that school and feel safe about it? I think that's going to be impacted huge, because even if Bryan Kohberger were to get found not guilty, and most people believed he was guilty, there will be enough doubt where they're going to be like, I really think he's guilty. I really think he's the one that did it. But do I want to take the risk by letting my kid go to that school and be wrong, and maybe it's some other local in the area? There's too much gain for Bryan Kohberger to be guilty. Too much. That's my opinion. That is the most important thing here, and it's not talked about. But, you know, if I was Ann Taylor, I might not want to attack the college either. That's not going to win you any favors in this area. So
it is not.
But I think that's the biggest reason why it needs to be changed, because every single person that's from that area benefits from the school and benefits in Bryan Kohberger being guilty, being the guy. To me, that doesn't sound very unbiased and objective.
No, yeah, I think there's too much just investment. And like 50% are employed. Well, all that 50% have wives or husbands or children or grandmothers or grandfathers. They have family probably there too. So how many people are actually connected to the university, even if they're not employed, but connected to it somehow, depend on it being there somehow?
Yeah, I agree. I think all the reasons that were given in here are real reasons too. I really think they are. And somebody brought this up in our chat when we were first talking about this, when it very first dropped. But they were like, imagine being the one person on that jury that disagrees with the rest of them, and the jury findings get held up because of that one person. How do you think those other people are going to go out in the community and talk about that person? It's already hive mind. You're setting this up to be a hive mind. You have to all agree, or you could be the outcast of the community next week. I mean, that does not feel like justice. That does not feel like unbiased jury.
It doesn't feel objective. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that if in a small town like this, the jury should ever come from the small town.
I
don't know if they ever should, to be honest.
I agree with you.
Small towns are echo chambers. They are hive minds. They're like sewing circles. There's always a ton of gossip. I just don't know if that's the best pick for a jury pool.
Yep.
When the crime happened there.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely curious what you guys think. Is this even a shock to you? I've been waiting for this to come. I knew it was going to come. Not even to mention the fact that changing the venue releases them from having to meet this very small window of, the case must start when the summer starts and it must be ended by the time the kids come back. Like, get out of here. That is insane to have someone that is up for a death penalty case and be like, we are going to force it to fit in this time. Even if it should be a 6-month trial, we are going to force it to fit in this time.
It is
that does not feel fair.
It doesn't feel fair at all. It does feel ridiculous that they're making it so you have to care about the university. Like,
agreed.
Like, who cares?
Look, I'm sure a lot of people care about the university. I would even classify myself as caring about the university. However, I don't care about it in a way where I'm willing to give up my justice system to cater to making sure that a trial isn't going on the same time college kids are in town. Like, oh, that's absurd to me. It is absurd. I don't even have anything else to say about it. It's just one of the most crazy things that I've heard. However, I didn't grow up in a small town. I get it. So I've never had to deal with any issues like this. I've always lived in large metro cities. But it blew my mind.
Yeah, it's wild.
So,
yeah.
But make sure you guys leave a comment below, because I want to know what you guys think about it. I mean, your opinions are really what drive us to do this, to continue learning, to continue talking about this stuff and talking about stuff that you want to hear. So what are your thoughts on this? Are we going down the right path? Do you agree? Do you think it would be okay to have it in this town? What are you thinking?